Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to learn how we can do JSON prompting. So most people when do prompting, we think of the normal text, but sometimes we cannot express what we want with the prompt, or there is a more complex structure, or we need a complex output structure for the prompt. That's where JSON prompting comes in. So what is actually JSON prompting? So today in this video, we will learn from the basic to the very high professional level of JSON prompting. So first get the basic rights. So what is a JSON prompting? A JSON prompting means giving the model a structure instruction and forcing a structure output. It removes ambiguity, increase reliability and make AI production ready. That is the smaller, clear definition of JSON prompting. Now, start with the bigger picture. Why this JSON prompting matters? So this is what I have written after doing JSON prompting a very long time, and this is what I have summarized for you people to learn from it. The AI era is moving towards the structure output, not free form of text. So you definitely need a structure output in certain case, not in every case, in certain case. And the power of API, automation, agent, MCP, servers, rule-based workflow all works with JSON prompting. The elimination of the ambiguity and reduce hallucination. So if you wanted to reduce the hallucination, if you wanted to reduce the ambiguity, you must use JSON prompt. They help the developers to build robust pipeline and LLM driven product, right? So these are the very much bigger advantages of JSON prompting. What is a JSON prompt? A very short anatomy of a JSON prompt is task, input, output format. So what is the task, what is the input, and what is the output format of that task? So suppose I want something very complex output formats, which we will discuss in this tutorial, but let's look into this. You cannot just tell output format in a clear text, like give me output format where summary is equal to string or keywords is equal to string array. If that is nested, you cannot express it in a word. You have to move to JSON prompting. Why JSON prompting is better than the plain text? Obviously, reduce model draft, enhance reliability, makes test easier, ensure automation and enterprise workflow. Developers can validate and parse result instantly. What is the basic structure of the JSON prompt? Okay, so there are four pillars on the blueprint of the solid JSON prompt. One, the context that explain the role you are an API, environment, domain, exception. What is it? Task, define the exact job, rules, specify the strict instruction boundaries and validation and output format. And obviously task has the input itself. Okay. So now comes the challenges when more challenging structure are coming in. So look into this product name specification, weight, dimension, height, width, depth. So if I have to express this output in a normal test, it would not be possible to clearly mention it. There would be problems. Logical conditions also. If text is longer than 200, then else output format. So there are logical conditions that you can also mention into this. The validation, obviously required field, allow values, never granted beyond the schema context. So these are the some of the takes that put in with the context of the logical or prompt to validate the things. Multiple object or batch processing, the bulk product format. So if you have a bulk product like items in the array, you can loop it through. Suppose you are getting a product array from the database and you wanted to pass that product array to the ChatGPT or the cloud. So in the API context. So that is where this JSON prompt also comes. Now let's move into some advanced prompting, advanced JSON prompting as well. So this is a function, name, create user, parameters, properties, username, age, required. So validation is a required field. So you have to validate. So you can validate the information, you can process the information, you can do a lot of stuff with that information. Error control. So in a JSON prompt, you can control the error as well. The error format, how the error can comes in into a JSON prompt, and strictly JSON only. So if I'm getting result or rules, I'm setting some kind of rules in between them. So what kind of rules I can I'm putting into, and that rules should be maintained. So if you have a normal text prompt, you cannot just mention the rules, right? Here is a rules parameter where you can mention the rules. Now let's look into some of the JSON prompt. Okay, I have a very simple structure. I'm just using Python. You can use any language you want to call the ChatGPT. Okay, so I have, as you know, the ChatGPT export the OpenAI key to the environmental variable. So I have done that. So I do not need the key over here. That is fine for me. If you want to import the key, you can import the key, whatever you like. Okay, so I've just built a simple function which exactly takes a JSON prompt and delivers the output. Now, see, my model is GPT-5. You can use any model, not 4.14, something like that, 4. Mini, ChatGPT 5 mini, O, whatever the things are. So the first thing is that input. I'm giving an input. Okay. So you remember that JSON prompt is coming over here. So my role is user. I'm putting a context over there, the system, right? The context is you are a helpful and knowledgeable assistant. Allow, provide clear, accurate, consistent answer. Always return a valid JSON. Thank you. That is a simple form of thing that I'm saying to the system, and now my prompt coming, and the format is a JSON object, right? So in fact, in the prompt also you can mention that the JSON object. So let's see some of the very easy prompt, just simple prompt. Absolutely, yeah. The task is summarize. What is the input? What is the output? I'm getting into. Like save this, and I want to run this as well. So I'm running this on my this system python main.py and waiting for some seconds. It will give the output of this information exactly, and it gives a output of the information. Like the structure is, as you have mentioned, the structure is the summary and the string. It is maintained that summary and the string. So here maintain that structure. So in this is a very big advantage is when you deal with a bigger prompts. This is a very big advantage, and I have filled it. I have used it JSON prompt in most of my professional projects, and this is very helpful. So now let's see some complex prompt, a little bit complex, not too much complex. So what I'm saying, the context is you are a productive assistant. The task is generate 3 tasks for this topic. Input is improve mobile app performance. What is my output is the title, the description, the priority. Now let us see what it gives me in return. We have to wait for some time because it takes a little bit of time to go through this process, and then it gives the output of that. Now it gives the output, right? The task, the title, and it gives the output in a particular way. This is so much easy. If you return to this to a front-end person, he will just loop through this, just looping through this is absolutely the structure output that I'm getting now, right? Let's move to some more complex topic. This is my one of my prompt that I used. So I'm trying to generate services on basis of a business type over a city, and these are my structure. So role is a strict service generator. Object generate exactly 40 unique and high relevant residential and commercial services of the country business type. input, my business side. So this input would be coming from the front end, the cities that would be coming from the front end. So these are the two dynamic data. Rules: if there is only one city, return a JSON object with the city name. So it gives, there are certain rules I have bind out. What is my output? The output is much more complex than this one or this one. This is the type, the single city example, the multiple city example, right? So I have just given the city example of how multiple cities and how multiple things can work. Now let us see what is my output is. It will take a little bit of time to give the output on this one. Okay, so we have to wait a little bit on this, otherwise we cannot get the output. It's calculating everything on the basis of, so this is where a real challenge get solved when you are using a JSON prompt. Just imagine this one, if this prompt would be written in a normal text and I want this output to be happening. Okay, so that would be, I am not saying that is not achievable, that is definitely achievable, but that would take a longer period of time rather than this in a structured output. So see what he has done. He has given me exactly Delhi, these are the services, Mumbai, these are the services, and Kolkata, these are the services. So it has given. So if I send this information to the front end person, how he can manage it, it is so good that people can use it in a front end so easily and so efficiently on the basis, rather than doing it scrapping or parsing through the data. Exactly. I hope I have given a quite a brief introduction and a detailed explanation of JSON prompt. If you like my video, do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be giving everything on the description. Thank you so much.